Smith in his prime there.
Right?
Yeah.
Hey,
Oh shit! Like move.
what's
what
up,
now?
motherfuckers?
Uh,
Hey, man. What's going on, guys?
We're just
Oh,
reminiscing.
Reminiscing about the not so good old days.
I
at
thought
high
they were
school.
great.
They were awesome, actually. We definitely adhered to the tenet that it was a sin to be cool, and we weren't, so that worked out nicely.
You see that picture of us there, Lag? I guess Dylan's the only guy in that picture that we play with today, but apparently Chris Simon took the picture, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I since I have it, it was on my phone. It must have been a picture I took.
Well,
Way back when, before it was a photo on your phone.
Right, like I had a camera in my hands.
Yeah, that's weird. It's probably an analog one.
Yeah, I mean, that was a picture of a photo that I had developed.
I used to have the smallest phone ever created. It was the size of a sushi roll or a letter.
Like a cell phone?
Uh-huh.
Wait, a sushi roll or a letter? Those are
Lighter.
really different dimensions.
Lighter.
Oh, a lighter. Okay.
Yes,
It's like an A11 standard legal sheet or a bread box.
I was like, yeah. God damn it.
Sorry, sir.
So what's up, guys? Can you give me a recap of what happened last week?
Yeah, who wants to do that?
Okay, so what happened when we were back in the cryo lab with Odorous, and Superfan went from being all kinds of cool and Superfan to being like all pissed off that we actually brought Odorous through time and basically begrudgingly gave us our stuff. Which also may have been what distracted us to the fact that we didn't notice until we were back in Westeros that we lost Braun.
And so
So Braun is in the future?
As far as we can tell, I mean, that was the place we were when we last saw him, and he didn't come back to Westeros with us.
All right.
And we told everyone that he died in the dragon fight.
Sort of let everyone believe. We didn't correct them when they suggested that he died in the dragon fight.
Exactly.
And then we found out that King Bran is apparently stuck. His mind is stuck in the dragon's body, and so we can't just kill the dragon.
Well, we're not really sure.
We think, or apparently,
Yeah, we might be able to reason with him now?
The dragon?
Yeah, it's got Braun in it.
Bran.
Yeah.
Thanks, J.R.R. Martin, for making these names very different.
And then I cast a spell. It was called something.
That's a good name for a spell. I'm casting something, guys. Hold on.
Yeah, it was a spell. It was 4th level.
Augury?
No, it was the better version of that.
Advanced Augury?
No. Hold on. I'm looking now. What did I cast? I cast...
Is that John I see?
Yeah.
Ibrahim!
What the hell?
Could be anything, really.
Hey, John Newman, how you doing?
Doing all right. How are you boys?
Doing good.
Doing well.
I cast divination. That's what I cast.
Oh.
Divination. All right, tell us how the spell works again.
Okay. How divination works. Similar to Argyry, but more powerful, a divination spell can provide you with a useful piece of advice in reply to a question concerning a specific goal, event, or activity that is to occur within 1 week. The advice granted by the spell can be as simple as a short phrase, or it might take the form of cryptic rhyme or omen. If the party doesn't act on the information, the conditions may change, so the information is no longer useful. Base chance for correct divination is 70% plus 1% per caster level, to a maximum of 90%. If it fails, you know it failed, but I rolled and it passed.
Now, does it require you? No, it's just about an upcoming event, or do you have to phrase your question and get an answer?
It doesn't say that. It's just a useful piece of advice in reply to a question. Oh, yeah, so I asked a question. Which I asked, how do we defeat the dragon and get Braun back to normal?
Bran.
Or Bran. Thanks, Jar Jar Martin.
Yeah, for real. All right. So the voice of a divine knower responds and says, "His spine cannot bear the guilt of the crown, but a new king with wings may be coming to town. If you measure the length from his eye to the ground, the number of souls which have died to the sound."
Man.
That's a
That
good
doesn't
one.
sound very good, guys.
Whoa.
Yeah, that's sounds
deep.
like Bad News Bears.
Did everyone hear that?
It's not it's not as bad as the 95 feces. You gotta admit.
I mean, it didn't smell like poop when it said it, so we got that going for us.
So maybe a sound that pulls him out of his. I don't know. Just thinking out loud.
His spine.
Here, I'll
Can you
copy
say
paste
again,
it.
Dave?
Into chat?
How
That would
about-
be great. Thanks.
How about I paste it in the chat, then you guys can get way more into it than I intended.
Tea with milk.
Mr. Tyrion is very
Yes.
concerned about these goings on.
Put a little bit of
Did he hear that? Did he hear that divination?
I just want to place tea without.
I guess you tell me, man. How loud is this voice that comes
Yeah.
out of your spell that you cast?
Yeah, everyone can hear it.
Oh, I can boom. I can make it boom.
Yeah, Lagboot could repeat it if you want, so more people could hear it.
Yeah, you could yell that all across the damn zone.
No, man, I think that's good. I think I mean, Tyrion's what's left of the small council, right?
So, just so you guys know, I walk over to Tyrion
Miller
and
stifles a snicker.
Hold on, Chris.
hey,
Let Lagboot finish.
let me say, I walk over to like Tyrion and I'm like, pull out my this like little device that you guys have seen hundreds of times, and I click go live, and I'm like, hey everybody, check this dude out. He's all fucked up inside the dragon, and all my friends here, and I go live on Twitch.
Tyrion gets freaked out and he runs over and he like tries to block it. He's like, "What is this? I don't know what this is, but no one can know that Bran is not in his body right now. No one can know that he appears dead. This is bad."
Yeah, really. Like, I think, like, you know.
I turn the camera around. Everybody like sees everybody, like you guys just looking like glaring at me. Like, sorry guys.
What was that, Delaware? Where were you coming from?
Nothing. The moment was lost. Don't worry about it.
Definitely not gonna keep me up at night.
It was that Delaware was going to snicker at the small council joke with the fact that he was so small.
The moment wasn't lost at all. It's hilarious.
Okay, wait.
So Brock, did you hear the clue?
Yeah, Brock's somewhat slower on the uptake, so he is actually getting measuring implements out of his giant lag boot, out of his alchemist kit, and he is physically measuring the distance between collapsed Bran's eye and the ground beneath his head.
It wasn't very big. It wasn't a great distance when he was conscious, and it's even less now.
Yep, no, he's confirming that.
So I'd like to use my sorry guys. I'd like to use my knowledge of the planes to see if I can determine what the nature of the spell is that's controlling Bran.
Knowledge of the planes will not help.
Okay.
Knowledge of arcane knowledge.
I do have that.
You
Knowledge
can roll
of Arcana.
That. Or spellcraft. Knowledge of Arcana is better. You're pretty sure it's like probably magic missile, or maybe maybe true seeing. I don't know.
Hey guys, magic missile. That's what happened to this guy. He's fucked up. He got fucked up with a magic missile. Now he's inside of the dragon mind.
Right.
Good
Okay.
to know. I'm gonna just I'm gonna.
Let's mark that as a theory.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
You guys write that down, man. Write that down.
Oh yeah, I think it was magic missile.
No, your brain barely remembers that maybe it's not. You don't have any better theory to go off of, but you're pretty sure that's a bad theory. Anyone else want to shoot?
Yeah, sure. Dice rolling.
What are you guys looking? What are you doing, man? It's magic missile. Oh,
Obviously.
got hit with it.
I hate it when that happens.
Oh, dude, Delaware spills it on y'all. It's a very primitive, like almost pre-shamanistic inherent ability of Bran's genetics, which allow him to, well, warg. If you're not familiar with that term, y'all look it up, son.
I'm gonna look it up.
With this knowledge now, I assume I know a little bit more about how this works and what we can and can't do?
Well,
yeah. Ask me some questions about it. I'll answer. I'll provide you with the answer of correctitude.
So, can we can we do anything to him from here? Is there anything we can do from here to reverse this, or do we need his mind? We need to go to the dragon.
So if you were to fatally wound his body, you would end it, and wherever his soul is, it would never come back. As far as dispelling, like from here, trying to dispel his body probably wouldn't have any effect. Because it's more like druid magic rather than necromantic, then there's no intermediate like if a necromancer was to do this, he would take his soul and put it into an object like a phylactery or a gem, and then from the gem he would be able to swap his soul out, and then you can cast dispel magic on the gem itself to force him back into his own body, but you don't have that. So perhaps a successful dispel or exorcism of the dragon could bring him back.
Well, there you go, guys. So we're gonna run up to him, and you guys do a routine Larry, Curly, and Mo, and put your hands on your faces and do weird, funny faces to distract him, and then I'd cast a dispel on him. What do you think?
I think we need an old priest and a young priest.
You need to do some sort of routine. A bit to distract him.
What happens to the dragon soul when Bran's in the body?
Well, Tyrion says that it does not seem to have affected the dragon's disposition at all. If Bran's soul is in the dragon, it is not one piloting the dragon. The dragon has not displayed any change in behavior. He's still burninating the countryside.
All right. So what else we got? Let's think about this. What can we do?
Can I interest anyone in a drink? Tyrion walks over to a wet bar that has appeared since the last time you guys were here.
Fuck yeah. Lagbu runs over and almost spills the cart as he stops short, and then fills a drink and says, "Cheers, guys!" Holds it out and just chugs the whole thing down. It's a small glass. I poured a glass. I chugged the glass. So, yeah.
You've done good.
What are you serving?
Well,
Oh, that's Westeros wine.
Like a Pinot or a Cabernet? Or
is it an Arbor Gold or is it that?
Look, it's one of those classy establishments. They've got red and white.
Carlo Rossi?
I totally drank the
yeah,
red because I'm classy.
It's pretty shit wine compared to what you guys are familiar with and used to. Magic makes some damn fine spirits.
It's a fucking Merlot. Exactly.
God damn it.
I'm not drinking any fucking Merlot. Oh.
Well, I think. Hey, Delaware, let me see that token that you were given.
The freezy one?
Yeah, the freezy one, man.
So,
okay. I present it.
What are you doing now that you have this token in your hand? What do you want to know about it?
I kind of want to know what it's all about.
All right, so it feels kind of like a second level token. As a matter of fact, there are multiple ones. Like you didn't just get one. So everybody has one if you want them. And as you, let's say it is a translucent cyan gem with considerable occlusions in it, and as you focus your power into it, the resulting effect is a blast of cold energy, similar to a fire spell that people love casting. It's very popular in this game.
It's a third level spell?
No, the second level one.
So-
Flame strike, flame punch.
So I pull out the token from my pocket, and I kind of look it over, and I look over at I look over and I say, hey, can anyone attach this to my bolt on my crossbow so I can just fire this from my crossbow at the dragon?
Oh, I can do that.
Oh, that'd be great. Delaware, can you hook me up, engineer it, and attach it to my crossbow? Or how is it? How is the magic released, or how is the ability from the token released?
It's kind of like so you as a
Do I know
sorcerer,
that?
yeah, I'm explaining to you right now. You as a sorcerer have like an innate feeling for like producing an effect. You want to do your fireball or your ice spears or whatever, and you just feel that good feeling, and you kind of squint your eyes, and with these tokens, you feel that there is like when you hold one and when you have like physical contact with it, you feel like you have additional powers, and mechanically, that's all it does. Is it gives you the ability to. Anyone who's holding a token can whatever the spell is in the token, they can now cast that instantaneously, like it becomes part of your spells as a spontaneous caster. It's now just a new option for you.
Okay.
As a cleric or a wizard or a prepared person, now you can drop spells like clerics do for healing spells. Whatever spell, you can just like take a spell you've got in your mind and just throw it into the blender, and out it pops like this.
Awesome.
Still looking up the spell here. Sorry, 1 second. But it's a energy substitution on a spell.
I would imagine a 19 would still get it, but I don't know.
Oh, I'm sorry?
He rolled to add the magical spell to my bolt, and I'm still okay with that.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's affixed to your crossbow right now, but I mean, if you launch the token, then you no longer can cast the spell.
Oh, so I can cast it multiple times if I hold on to the token.
So like a token is like a wand without a battery. Like a wand, you have to know what the spell is, but then you can like point it and use charges out of the wand. And if you take the pre-compressed magic in the wand out of it, and you just can focus your own personal magic through it.
So, do I still have any of the token, maybe a lesser token in my hand, so I could still cast? I don't know. Did I use up the entire token to put it onto the bolt?
So it's like a gem.
Right.
If you glue the gem to your crossbow, then whenever you're holding the crossbow, you can cast the spell through it.
Okay.
But it's not going to upgrade your bolts at all or anything.
Oh, okay.
But you can make it look like you're shooting it out of the crossbow.
Fucking
Like,
that tickled me, dude. Come on.
The
Alright, so I'm not gonna fire the crossbow. I'm just gonna hold it, and I'm gonna still cast the spell.
Scorching Ray, that's the spell I was thinking of. Scorching Ray, but now it's like a chilly ray.
Yeah, I could do that. It'd be awesome.
Leroy Cyrus.
I'm sorry?
Never mind.
Dang it, Chris.
I said Chili Ray Cyrus.
Oh, you guys, I got ball lightning. I'm turning it to ball freezing.
All right, you guys need to come up with a new plan now. What's your new plan?
If Bran's in there, can we get him to come back on his own? Can we like put a giant message that he could see?
It seems like
Oh, I fucked up.
maybe it seems like Bran's in there, but he's not getting control of the dragon, or maybe he's just saying like, "Fuck it, man," and I'm just gonna be a dragon.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean,
does he
being-
want to come back? Like, come on, man.
being king of the Seven Kingdoms is pretty good, and it's probably got his perks, but also not having the use of your legs probably sucks. So, yeah, I don't know.
So maybe we can convince the dragon to let Bran speak to us through the dragon, and we can convince the dragon to just be actually the physical embodiment, the new physical, because Bran is in a wheelchair, and he'd probably like to be able to fly around and be a powerful dragon. So we might not be able to entice him even out of this dragon. We should see if we can convince the dragon to let Bran take over its mind.
All right. I don't know how. Okay. What?
Yeah. So what we'll do is we'll cast a diplomacy, or I'll use my diplomacy skill. Say, hey, could you let Bran talk to us for a moment? And then we'll say, Bran, take over the dragon.
And he's like, "Oh, I never thought of that before. Good idea."
What do you guys think? Or we could freeze it and kill it and cast ice spears and make it more powerful, and with my token.
So, you've used message a lot in the past. Maybe there's some variation on it that you think you could help you communicate directly with Bran from a distance without like letting the dragon know where you are, so you don't have to deal with that. You've also talked about the possibility of like forcing Bran back into his body with a dispel magic on the dragon, or perhaps some other form of enchantment.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's so like the abjuration / enchantment route is get Bran back into his old body. The telepathy route is just reconnaissance, like what's going on with the dragon's soul and Bran's soul, and then kill the dragon, which is still the original.
Yeah.
Which was the original plan.
So I go into great detail on each of these kind of plans for everybody, and for a moment, and I try and I don't really push either plan, and I leave it to the crowd to decide how they want to proceed. And then I do a peace symbol into my camera, and I'm like, "Still live, motherfuckers! What's up?"
And I'm like looking off. Who's he talking to, man?
Thanks for the $100 donation.
Bless you.
I don't know. Usually, I only see this with Russian girls with daddy issues. I don't know what's going on.
I don't know what that means, but yeah, me too. So like, should we
If we're gonna
Kill?
talk to him,
Dispel?
can
Or-
we? If we're gonna message him,
Message him, yeah.
can we offer him some hope? Like, can we
Lie to him and fix
Yeah.
it.
Oh,
Can we magic
absolutely.
ourselves up? Can we magic ourselves up like some sort of something imbued with the fly spell, so that he doesn't have to be in a wheelchair? He can just sort of hover around.
I can
Ah,
cast fly
yeah.
on him for sure, absolutely. But
Yeah, I think a big
we could use suggestion to try and get
it
him.
all kind of dawns on y'all at the same time. You're like, kind of a lot of the problems here can be solved by just bringing more magic here. All these problems, Bran can't walk, all these other things happening. Why? It's because nobody's got any divine healing going on here. And what are all these other problems? Well, the only magic is this dragon here. So, as a matter of fact, Tyrion is like, why don't you just solve it all with magic, since it seems to do everything for you in the world that you come from.
I mean, not everything.
You seem upset. You seem upset. Like, no, we got to figure it out. I have so many things that we can try, guys. I need your guidance. Give me some idea. Let's try some stuff on this guy. We could. We need more magic. We need to heal him. We need to
teach magic. Is this like a
pull him out
montage?
of- Yeah.
Montage of teaching everybody
I'm
how
trying
to
to
do magic.
motivate you guys.
I don't know, man. Like, pretty much, whenever like there's more magic, that just like more magic, more problems. I think like a cartoon muffin girl said that one time, right?
Yes, she did. She most certainly did.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, guys. We've got another option. Why don't we try both? We go and we try and dispel, get Bran out of there. We can see if we can heal him later. We can worry about that later. And then I'll go invisible while you guys are attacking the dragon, and I'll fucking put this totem right in between some scales and shoot it into its head. Make it
Again, don't
brain
lose the
freeze.
token.
I just want to give him brain freeze. Really powerful.
It's definitely. I've been watching videos of Mortal Kombat 11 fatalities, and that seems like that would fit right in there.
If the spell doesn't work, we can always try and kill him. We've got a backup plan.
If you're gonna stick something in between his scales, I will give you a frost bomb.
Oh,
frost
you have
bomb.
frost bombs, bro. I'm so glad you're here.
All right.
We've got a plan.
So is the plan like talking first and then like putting?
I think so. I'd like to.
Yeah.
Let's buffer each other up.
So I threw that out before, and I'll throw it out again. Message spell will let you go.
Yeah.
It's got a distance of 100 feet plus 10 feet of level, so almost 200 feet away. That's a 0th level spell. If anyone has a more powerful communication spell, then that might be even better. Also, things like divination spells that might help you see the soul. I don't know, so you can like recon on him. And then potentially abjuration spells. Dispel magic is an idea. Also, let's look at more abjuration spells. But yeah, I think you guys need to like look over your spell lists and see what you guys can do.
That's what I've been doing.
On these three. Okay. Cool. Does anybody have any meta magic like extend that?
Yeah, something that can boost magic. I mean, I can cast message, no big deal. But I can even enthrall them, maybe communicate with them from a distance and get them to really pay attention to me. I could cast detect magic to see if there's a way I can communicate with Bran through his body. See if I can learn a little bit more about the spell. That way we don't have to cast the message spell so far.
Run that by me again.
Detect magic. See if I could learn a little bit more about the spell or...
detect magic is kind of like
find if something is enchanted.
Thermal vision.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
Like you know how the predator can go around and be like, oh, I see where people are or whatever. You like open your third eye and then you just see, you know, a new dimension to everything. Like you see how magical something is, and you can study him some more.
What
But
about?
Chris Delaware kind of already like was able to properly deduce what's going on there,
Okay.
and I just assumed that maybe he used a detect magic in there somewhere to help him recognize that. Let's see here. School
So,
abjuration.
so here's what I'd like to cast Clarion Call, which I gain 2 benefits. For the somebody here can create a sound like the blast of a mighty horn or a trumpet by miming the action of like a sounding one. Second, the subject can speak in a booming voice that carries easily over great distances, and then use that spell to kind of cast message over a longer distance than what it normally would allow for. Clarion Call.
Yeah, so the clarion call is going to allow you to communicate at a much greater distance, but it's not going to allow, like, everyone in the area is going to hear it, you know?
Okay.
Let's see specifically what clarion call.
Yeah, you're right. It's a booming voice that carries over great distances.
Mm-hmm. But, I mean, if you need to, like, get the dragon's attention, something like that's probably a good way to do it.
We may be able to go outside and just yell to get it to come here so we could talk to it.
So, can I do like some kind of maybe it's what is it, a heal check? Oh yeah, I'll do a heal check maybe to see if there's any magic spell that I can cast to make Bran not crippled anymore. I mean, like my buddies have been pretty effed up in combat, and I just like cast cure moderate wounds and then they're fine. Like, could there be some magical kind of
Dude,
healing?
Totally. Roll your heal check. Ah! It was loud in my ear. Yeah, as a matter of fact, do you think that a spell like regeneration or restoration would probably do it?
Okay, I could cast a restoration. Yeah. That is in my wheelhouse.
Can anyone do like an anti-magic shield around Bran to just kind of suck him back into his body?
Yeah, so restorations. Would that pop him back into his body too, maybe?
Do you have one ready and prepared, or is that something you'll have to check tomorrow?
That I'll have to check that tomorrow.
Okay.
I believe. Maybe I need to make a token of that. Yeah, I'll work on that. I'll work on a restoration token.
All right. All right, I think we should convene for the evening, and then we will refine this plan a little bit more, come up with a timeline for it first thing next week when we play, and maybe even start putting it into action.
Yeah.
Word. I will probably not be able to participate next weekend due to work. Just heads up. But I think the following week I'll be good to go.
I'm gonna jab an arrow. I'm going to cast a spell into that dragon's thing and yell out your name because you're not here. Be like, Yeah, this is for whatever the fuck that dude's name is. Gabriel.
That's pretty cool. Also, I brought up metamagic rods or metamagic earlier. While you guys were back in the future, you should have picked up some metamagic rods that just allow you to turn any spell into a cold spell.
Shoulda, coulda, woulda.
Yeah, well, you still got time travel, so you could do it now if you wanted to. Or in the future. But what I'm saying to myself right now is it's time to introduce more metamagic to the campaign, because that's cool and fun.
We should totally go now. Brock failed to leave an upper decker in the future.
It's his signature move.
Enough people did enough damage to my apartment. We do not need upper deckers.
Let's see here. Odorous peed on your furnace. What else happened? Is that all?
Oh, he also fucked your
monitor.
couch.
Your couch is fucked up, man. He put
That's
his feet
right.
on
He
your
kept
couch
jumping on
and
the couch.
He's like, fuck your couch.
He destroyed the computer monitor.
He goes, buy a new one, you rich motherfucker.
All right, guys, we've got a guest DM here for a little bit.
Hi.
Hey, you
Hi.
little child.
Hello.
Hello.
Hey, Everett.
How are the clocks, Everett?
Good.
Excellent. I heard you wanted to be a light guy.
Oh yeah.
Light guys are pretty cool.
Yeah. This is Rena.
What?
Rena.
I think he said 10,000 XP each.
That's what I heard.
Yeah.
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 Lay down. No one can talk to.
Yeah, tacos. Yes.
Bye, Everett.
See you later.
He says bye. And he also says, y'all take 2d6 acid damage. He's a cruel dungeon master, man. All right, anybody else got anything for tonight before we hang it up?
No, but I'm gonna be thinking about the magic thing because I'd like to.
Yeah. Also, you always could reach out to Leonard Cohen and ask his opinion since he set you on this mission in the first place. And yeah, go back to the future and grab more tools, even more tokens. Like, hey, there's a spell that we should get. You know, like whatever you can come up with that's better than message for longer distance communication with Bran. As a matter of fact, there's necromantic soul spells which allow you to communicate directly with a soul no matter where it is. Dream spells also. That's something you might consider. It's using like dream travel to find Bran in the sleeping world rather than the waking world.
What about like astral projection?
That could help as well. The dragon, I bet, would not be able to interact with you if you were astrally projecting. And then you could also see if there were how many souls were riding on that body.
Yeah, that's like a 9th level spell, so.
The only way Brock's helping with any of this stuff is if somebody needs to get really high to ride that dream.
Bro, you're talking my language as I pour another drink.
Brilliant. Don't sell yourself short, Brock. You got plenty of valuable skills.
Yeah, we
Also,
will
I think-
frost bombs.
You could probably sit out an adventure too and still be even Steven with everybody else. You made short work of the Odiugs, for instance.
Yeah, blowing things up is his specialty. What he's good at.
All right, gents. I will call
All
it
right,
a
guys.
night now.
See
Thanks
you
very
next
much
week
for
on the
playing.
Next Bardo.
All right.
See you later, Dave. Have a great
Thanks,
evening.
guys.
Peace, gents.
Cheers.